Hello students, hope you're doing with dimensional analysis, you're enjoying your doing with the numericals based on that. Last class we had done with the two different uses of dimensional analysis. If you remember, we had done with first one to find the to check the correctness of the dimensional formula, and the second one what we did was to find out the value of the constant term. So today's class we are going to do with the rest two. What are the rest two? To convert one system of unit into another, and the second one is to establish a relation between the given physical quantities. So let us do the first one for today's, that is to convert one system of unit into another. Let's begin our class. To convert one system of unit into another. So suppose we have got two different, suppose if I write 10 Newton, and 10 Newton is what? The SI unit, and I want to convert it into CGS unit. So in that, what you really need to understand here, 10 is the numeric value, that is the value of N1 we are going to consider. Unit is one is the Newton is the SI unit and dyne is the CGS unit. So we are talking about the same physical term. We are talking about the same physical term. What is the physical term? Force. And as because we are talking about the same physical term, but the only difference is the change in unit from one system to the other. So in this case, if one is given, one of the value is given in one system of unit, and we need to find out the value in the other unit. So how we can do with it? So we have got a basic formula, and the formula is like this: N1, that is N2, is equals to N1. This is M1 by M2 to the power A, L1 by L2 to the power B, and T1 by T2 to the power C. Now let us take for example, we have the example, we have to find to convert 100 joules into erg. So we are having two systems. Joule is the SI unit and this is the CGS unit. Okay, so first you draw a line here, and then you will write this is the SI system. The one which is given is the SI system, and we are going through the CGS system. Now the value of SI system, we have the value of N1 as equals to 100, but we don't know the value of N2. We need to find out how much erg. This is the question, how much erg. So N2 needs to be found out. Now M1 is 1 kg, that is the SI unit we measured in terms of kg. L1 we measured it in terms of 1 meter. And T1 is 1 second, and when we do with the CGS unit, M2 is equals to 1 gram, L2 is equals to 1 centimeter, T2 is equals to 1 seconds. Fine. Now this is the physical term, and this physical term we are talking about the work. Joule is the work, unit of work. So work, and your dimensional formula for this is ml square t to the power minus 2. Now since we have the formula ml square t to the power minus 2, so it means m to the power a. So a is equals to 1. This is 1. B is equals to 2. C is equals to minus 2. So in the given formula, if you get to see the formula, so in the given formula what we have done, we have got the value of N1, we have got the value of M1, M2, we have got the value of L1, L2, we have got the value of T1, T2, and we have already got the value of A, B and C. We have got the value of A, B and C. So what is we need to do more? We need to find out the value of N2. So let us substitute into the formula. I'll just wrap this line so that I can substitute into the formula the given values. So N2 is equals to N1. N1 is equals to 100. M1 is 1 kg. M2 is 1 gram. A is 1. L1 is 1 meter. L2 is 1 centimeter. This is 2. And this is 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second to the power minus 2. That is C. That is C. So here m1 is 1 kg, m2 is 1 gram, L1 is 1 meter, L2 is 1 centimeter, T1 is 1 second and T2 is 1 second, and then we have got the value. Now you just do with it. Let us check how we can do it. This becomes N2 is equals to 100. This becomes 1000 gram. This is 1 gram. So 1 meter is 100 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter. And 1 second gone to the power minus 2. So we have got this gram centimeter gone. So it is 100 into 1000 into 100 into 100. Okay. So we are getting up this as 1 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the power 9. So that is, we can very well write 100 joule is equals to 1 into 10 to the power 9. So we have got the value of N2. So this is very simple. The only thing that when you do with such, when you are converting one system of unit into the other, then what you need to know, what becomes very important, that you should know that the general formula N2 is equals to N1, M1, M2A, and then we have got L1, L2B, T1, T2C. So we have the general formula. Based on the general formula, you have to get the value, substitute it. So what is important? First you write down make a column, separate all things, what are the givens, substitute, and very nicely step by step, again I will say things, step by step follow the steps and do it. Okay. Now the next part that we need to do is the conversion of one unit, that is we even suppose if we have got this is the conversion of one unit into another. The basic steps I have already told you, the basic formulas I have explained, but we will do with the next use to establish a relation between the given physical quantity. So let us do with it. Let's take for example, to establish the relations, you have one of the physical quantity. Let us take for example, we talk about force, and we assume this force is depending upon mass, it depends upon the velocity, it depends upon the radius. But how this force will depend, which is the formula, we don't know. So in very simple meaning, this use is basically to give you the formula. We need to get to derive the formula. Okay, so suppose if the question is given, a force depends upon, let us assume a force is depending upon mass of the body, velocity of the body, radius of the body, how it will relate, and what is the basic formula. So let us start with the class when we have to establish the relation. So we have got the force F is depending upon mass m to the power a. It depends upon the velocity v, and it depends upon the radius. Here F is the force, its dimensional formula I'll write. M is the mass, dimensional formula is m. V is the velocity, dimensional formula I'll write lt to the power minus 1, and r is the radius, and dimensional formula I'll write it as. Okay, so here we have got, so force, this is mass, velocity and radius. We don't know the formula. What we are going to do? We are going to find out the formula. Now in order to find out the formula, steps. The first step, F is equals to, when we remove the proportionality, we put some constant. M, A, V, B, R, C. So in the second step we are going to drop k because it has got no use. So I'll write the formula for this. M L T to the power minus 2 force. M to the power a. Velocity is L T to the power minus b. And this is L to the power c. So what we are getting up? M L T to the power minus 2. This is M to the power a. L to the power b plus c. And this is T to the power minus 2. Fine. So when we write M to the power a, nothing else, nowhere else. But here L, B is here also C. So B plus C and T is minus B. Now equating the coefficient of the powers, here the coefficient, here A is, M is A and here it is 1. So it simply gives an idea A is equals to 1. Now next B plus C is equals to 1. And then we have got minus b is equals to minus 2. See the pass of the time. So this is minus b is equals to minus 2. So b is 2. So if b is 2, then 2 plus c is equals to 1. So c is equals to 1 minus 2. So you get minus 1. Okay. So this is what we are getting. So in short, what we have got, let me write here. Let's write the values which we have got. A is equals to 1, B is equals to 2 and C is equals to minus 1. Okay, now let's wrap this because we have to substitute in this equation again. So here F is equals to K, M to the power A is what? 1, V to the power B, V is 2 and R to the power minus 1. So F is equals to K mv square by R, or we can write F proportional to mv square by R. So this is the relation. This is the relation between the given physical quantities. What are the quantities? The force depends upon the mass, it depends upon the velocity, it depends upon the radius, and how it is relating, you have to find out the value of A, B, C. So same way, you get any question, you just see the question. The only thing that is important is to put the right dimensional formula. If you make a single mistake, it will be a blunder, get all things wrong. So make sure that you follow your steps. Again, the steps, I always take this, because if you follow the steps, it's easy to understand and you will not make a mistake and your mistakes will be rectified. Okay, so don't jump, follow simple steps. Okay, right? And in this case, this way you can find it out. We have done with the 4 uses of the dimensional analysis. We know the limitation of dimension. If you are doing with the dimensional analysis, then automatically the limitations you will get to know. What are the limitations? Suppose if we had got the 4th quantity out here, so then how can we relate? It becomes difficult. We cannot do with it. There is a problem. Let us take, for example, we are not taking care of the constant. Always and always we just drop it. So the constant is not taken care of. Next, suppose if we have got an equation based on the exponential or the logarithm, then again we are into mess. We cannot proceed, we cannot find the right way. So these are the limitations of the dimensional analysis, but still dimensional analysis is very, very important. So don't miss it out, do it and just check that you are done with it. Thank you.